Welcome to our channel. Today, we have the following news. Zhao Lusi faces backlash, and it's not entirely unjustified. Zhao Lusi, once a darling of the Chinese entertainment industry, now finds herself at the center of a storm of public discontent, and, unfortunately for her, much of it may not be entirely undeserved. In recent months, Zhao Lusi has become what many netizens call a hot search physique, a celebrity who seems perpetually trending, whether for positive or controversial reasons. Since she publicly revealed her struggle with illness last year, Zhao has been a near-constant presence on Weibo's hot search rankings. According to rough estimates, she appeared in over 280 hot searches during her recovery period alone. While such visibility might once have been considered a marker of relevance or popularity, in Zhao's case, it's increasingly perceived as overexposure, and even manipulation. What was initially a moment for empathy, her candid disclosure about her physical and mental health, has spiraled into skepticism. Many members of the public have grown wary of what they view as excessive self-promotion disguised as vulnerability. Rather than quietly recuperating, Zhao Lusi seemed determined to maintain a media presence throughout her illness. Updates about her condition were shared frequently, often in dramatic fashion. Videos showed her struggling to walk, unable to speak, and even needing help eating. Yet, to the surprise of many, she returned to public events in just over a month, walking with a cane, but walking nonetheless. The contrast between her initial portrayal of severe debilitation and her relatively swift recovery has sparked widespread doubt. Was her condition as serious as originally suggested? Or was it amplified for sympathy, and, ultimately, for traffic? Fueling this perception was the launch of her new reality show Little Courage, which debuted not long after her recovery. The program was marketed as a gentle, healing experience, promising authenticity. Zhao Lusi would appear without makeup, without a script, and without compensation. Fans described it as a charity-oriented, slow-paced variety show intended to soothe the soul. But when it finally aired, the reception was far from warm. Critics quickly pointed out that much of the show revolved around Zhao recounting her own struggles, her illness, her heavy workload, her emotional burdens. In one particularly jarring segment, she shared these reflections not with therapists or peers, but with a group of underprivileged children living in mountainous rural areas. The dissonance was difficult to ignore. Here was a highly paid celebrity, reportedly earning over 20,000 yuan per day, lamenting her stress to children who climb cliffs to harvest mats or take mushrooms for extra income. It wasn't just the mismatched tone that drew criticism, but also Zhao's interactions with the children. In one moment, she remarked how cool it was to see the children navigating dangerous mountain paths. The comment, likely meant as casual admiration, came across as shockingly tone-deaf, especially considering the children undertake such risks out of necessity, not choice. In another segment, Zhao asked a young girl if she had ever taken artistic photos, and then proceeded to show her own stylized photo shoots. While perhaps an innocent attempt at bonding, the moment again emphasized the gap between Zhao's privileged lifestyle and the lived reality of those she was trying to connect with. Perhaps most bewildering was her labeling of a local craftsman as selfish for failing to pass on his traditional skills. But was it really selfishness? Or was it simply a symptom of a greater problem, the lack of interest or opportunity for younger generations to learn skills that don't promise financial security? These moments, however unintentionally, paint a picture of someone out of touch, trying to be relatable but landing far from the mark. It's no wonder then that public opinion has turned sharply against Zhao. What began as a wave of sympathy has curdled into frustration and criticism. Online, some netizens are even calling for her to take a step back from the spotlight altogether. Others express concern for her well-being but also suggest that she seek recovery away from the public eye, rather than treating every personal moment as content. Zhao Lusi may be the first Chinese celebrity to suffer a significant backlash tied directly to an illness, not because she was sick, but because of how that illness was used, perceived, and portrayed. In an industry already saturated with marketing gimmicks and hyper-curated personas, the public is increasingly quick to identify, and reject, what they see as emotional manipulation. None of this is to say that Zhao Lusi is undeserving of empathy. Illness, both physical and mental, is real and complex. But when vulnerability is repeatedly placed under the spotlight, polished and promoted for engagement, the lines between authenticity and performance begin to blur. As she moves forward, perhaps Zhao Lusi would benefit from a little more distance, not just from the camera, but from the constant need for attention. There is strength in silence, too. And after such a turbulent year, the best thing she could do, for her fans, her critics, and herself, might be to retreat from the spotlight, focus on genuine healing, and return when she's ready, not just when the algorithms are.